And basketball, the Texas men, we've talked about them. We sprinkled some conversation in the non-conference part of the season. Now they go into conference play. Good news, they scored 98 points. Bad news, they gave up 101. It's a high-scoring game. What'd you make there of the Longhorns as they got the SEC open up?
It's going to be tough, guys. I mean, honestly, they had one quality win in the non-conference, and that was NC State in Maui. So you're never sure how to quantify a win in that tournament compared to a more traditional non-conference game. And now they lost to a team on their home floor that when you start looking up and down the SEC standings, that's got to be a win. Now they go to Tennessee on Tuesday, then they go to Alabama on Saturday. Last year they started out 0-3 and they clawed their way back to some respectability, but they're going to have to pull off a real big surprise this week to avoid another 0-3 start before Texas A&M comes to Austin. That's certainly, I mean, there's no gimmies, obviously, but man, you got to take care of the home court against the likes of a Mississippi State where, they had a 7-point lead with about minute 45 to go when Dalen Swain fouled out with 34 points and still had a chance to win it in regulation and had a chance to tie it in overtime and couldn't get it done. There you see Swain. I mean, he's tough as nails, but they need some help. And guys, I don't know if they're physical enough with the way Sean Miller has this roster. I think he's a little disappointed in some bigs that thought that would produce a little bit more, and then they've been inconsistent in the backcourt. So I said before the season that they'll probably win some games they're not expected to. Suddenly that looks like the majority of them in the SEC.
Roger, I feel like, well, first of all, I find it crazy that I'm even going to say this because of what Curt Cignetti has done for the college landscape in general and just winning right when you get to a new program. But it feels like, Texas kind of ran Rodney Terry out of Austin, and now Sean Miller comes in, and it's kind of getting off to about the same start as you've kind of seen from the Rodney Terry days. Is it too early, do you think, still to be like, hey, man, is Sean Miller really the guy for us?
I think so because of his track record.
Yeah.
I mean, Rodney Terry did a great job cleaning up the mess when Chris Beard was let go. By the way, he had a really good roster to do that, and they were a really good veteran team with a lot of leaders. And then, they make the tournament the next season and lose to Sean Miller in the first four of the play-in. And so Rodney Terry, excellent recruiter, excellent assistant coach, but his 10-year run at Fresno and UTEP were okay. Would not have gotten the job as a head coach at Texas from those two schools. So, the circumstances led him to being promoted to the head coach. So, no, I think Sean Miller's got a track record where you're right. You got to do it. You got to do it fast. And he had to try to put this roster together the best he could in a relatively short amount of time when you think about he got here at the end of March. But, I mean, they've got a recruiting class they're pretty excited about. But, this is going to be a struggle, and then they're going to have to go deep in the portal. And we'll see. There's a lot of thought that, right now they're not committing the dollars that he would like compared to some other programs. But, you got to pick your spots when you're talking about the rev share money. And then, the other money is what it is. But I don't think you can judge him on what he's done so far. He's done too well at Xavier and Arizona, and then back at Xavier, he was really good again.
Right, trying to turn things around there in Austin. We got a chance to hear from Coach Miller about his team and discipline.
A disciplined team, disciplined players, coached by a disciplined coach and environment and staff. And we have to coach those guys better in those areas. Now, if I tell you not to cross the street, and I keep telling you, and I say, I swear, whatever you do not cross the street. And you do, and the bus hits you. I'm going to take responsibility as your parent. But how many times do I have to tell you not to cross the street? We got some of that going on.
I mean, Sean Miller is one of these guys that he just kind of says it how he feels it, so to speak, and he's got some John Calipari vibes in there as well as the way he's talking about his team to the media, and I wonder if that will take hold coming up over the next few weeks. Meanwhile, on the women's side, a really good, strong run in the non-conference part of the schedule. Got a bit of a scare in the SEC opener. What'd you make of the Longhorns there?
Yeah, I mean, they went to Missouri on New Year's Day and struggled a little bit out of the gates. And then I guess that's a good sign for Texas. You win by 19, and Vic Schaefer wasn't happy.
Yeah.
It was funny because Vic Schaefer wasn't really happy, but when people bring up that to him, he reminds them they won by 19 points. So it's kind of a little bit about, he's trying to get his message across to his team as well. But in the end, a road win by 19 in the SEC on New Year's Day is a pretty good way to start. And then Sunday, I mean, they were in a battle against Ole Miss, and that was a heck of a ball game. It was a one-possession game down the stretch. Texas is known for, the turnover margins, one of the best in the country. I haven't checked lately. It was number 1. Well, it was just +2 on Sunday, and that was one reason why Ole Miss was able to hang around. And then the Longhorns, just couldn't get anything done kind of in the middle of that second half when Ole Miss came back, and Ole Miss hit, I think, 5 straight buckets to keep it around a one-possession game. Madison Booker and Jordan Lee led the way with 15 and 17. They got a nice production from Ashton Judd. They're shorthanded, and again, all it is a fact. Still no Aaliyah Crump, the freshman, who was a starter, averaging 13, and she hasn't played since before Las Vegas. And then Taya Sidbury had taken her time in and out of the starting lineup, the Boston College transfer. She's out right now. So you got those two still trying to get back healthy. They get Judd back. They get Brianna Preston back, a backup point guard. But still they're playing a 7-8 person rotation right now. And they've got Auburn, and then they go to LSU. Talk about a snake pit on Sunday against Kim Mulkey. They'll be in a bad mood down there the way their SEC has started.
Yeah, no question about it. 17-0 to start the year, 2-0 in the SEC. But as you mentioned, this road gets really, really hard for them moving forward. Roger, thank you so much for your time, both in Orlando and now that you're back in Austin. Great to see you again, and Happy New Year.
All right, right on, guys. Talk to you next week.